Hello!
Hi!
We're the Small Potatoes, and we're talking about Degrassi again, Season 1.
Now we're doing episodes 6 through 10?
Yeah, and we've hit the ground running as far as the drama, how far the show can go, and just sort of...
It's starting to get good. I
Yes.
feel like the first 5 episodes were really good at introducing our characters and kind of setting them up. Now these next 5 episodes are trying to like fill in some gaps, like friendship wise and like background wise, because there's still like certain like plot lines I feel like they don't have to be there, you know?
But they're there.
But they're there to like add background information on our characters.
From what I can say about these episodes 6 through 10, there were some episodes in episodes 1 through 5 where I said, you know what, this is a nothing episode. Even on one of these episodes where it feels like that, they still have an important message to send. And yeah, these are fun. If I would recommend just starting Degrassi right here if you've never started it. But episode 6 is called The Mating Game. And you knew we'd have to touch on this subject eventually, but every teen show has to do their own iteration of
Sex education.
And Romeo and Juliet.
Even Twilight did. Romeo and Juliet.
You knew it. It as it is written.
Listen again.
Okay, it's fun. It's a fun episode. It starts off with Jimmy, Paige, and Ashley all in drama class or English.
No, they're in English class with Miss Kwan,
Miss
who
Kwan.
has like the most like
Soft,
awesome,
nice voice.
Yes, like it's so calming and soothing. She should be an
ASMR
audio.
lady.
Yeah, like a book audio person.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, it's kind of wild. They tackle both at the same time, both subjects.
Yeah, because Paige and Jimmy are Romeo and Juliet, while Ashley is just Paige's like handmaid or whatever. So that starts off some jealousy.
Yes.
Right there.
They're talking about doing rehearsals later.
And we all know that there's the big kiss at the end.
Yes, and all while that's going on, Spinner brings up that the sex ed lady is also going to be there to speak to them, and they're super excited because they might show some graphic content for middle schoolers.
And they always bring condoms.
Yes, it's always a who. You would expect middle schoolers exactly how they would act in this sort of class.
Yeah. The sex education talk though, I just want to mention when the lady comes, you know, she does like the banana condom stuff and everything. But then like Spinner is like, hey, like I have a friend who's been going out with this girl for 8 months. How do they know they're ready to have sex? And this lady straight up tells them, you'll know when you're ready, and you'll know when you feel like you're ready. And it's like,
he asked
what?
He asked on behalf of Jimmy.
Oh yeah, because him and Ashley have been dating for a while.
They've been dating for middle school and eternity.
She's a prude, apparently.
Yes. Oh, honestly, I totally agree. Where the sex ed lady,
she gives bad advice.
She should have told these middle school kids, like, hey, no.
You guys are 8th graders, first of all.
Of course, this is the early 2000s. We didn't have 16 and pregnant yet, but it's always been there. That message has always been there, and it's a good subject to touch on. She gave really bad advice.
Really bad advice.
Another really crazy thing too is whenever we shift back to the Romeo and Juliet stuff, Jimmy is in rehearsals.
Yes.
Kissing.
No, because okay, so it was Paige. She's like trying to get at Ashley for some reason. Paige is not a girl's girl, okay? Paige first season is a mean girl who only cares about herself, okay? But she like straight up like surprises Jimmy with the kiss, and then Ashley's all like, "Hey," like with her line, and then Miss Kwan doesn't even get mad at Paige and Jimmy for kissing during class. She gets mad at Ashley for saying her line too early.
Oh yeah, and it's just so funny. But there's a little scene of Jimmy being pressured into moving on to that next step. Ashley also feels pressured.
Yeah, because Paige is constantly telling her like, oh, you need to do something with Jimmy because he's gonna get bored of you,
and you're gonna lose him.
Yeah, like you don't want to lose Jimmy.
So she orders through Canadian Amazon.
Oh my god, yeah, condoms.
Really nice condoms though, from what I read in the description.
I don't
remember what they had, but
her mom's there when it gets delivered. It's awkward.
It's a very awkward scene.
Yeah.
While that's going on, Jimmy
He's
travels to the corner store with Spinner.
Like a CVS or whatever. Right?
They also have a really funny scene. God, let me just say this. Clerk, he is such a weird jackass.
I don't think he's being weird. I think he's just having fun with these kids who are obviously like being awkward about buying condoms because
Yeah.
he's all like, "Are you sure you want this size? We have like small,
Yeah.
medium, and extra large."
He's really like just sandbagging them and making it tough.
Yeah.
They eventually get to their room while Ashley's parents are gone.
Yeah, because Ashley's stepdad is like doing something.
Yeah, so she invites Jimmy over, and these are young. They're young.
Yeah, they're like sitting with each other, just like, so.
They have no idea.
They don't know what to do. They don't know how to like foreplay or whatever. And then like they finally like are like, hey, like I'm not ready to do this. Are you ready to do this? And then they're like, okay, cool. We'll just tell people we did if they ask.
Yeah.
But like we don't have to.
Which, as a message for a young teen and adolescent, it's a good like, hey, if you're not ready, don't do it. Which is,
it kind of goes back to the sex education
Yes.
lady because they feel like they're not ready, but it's like. That's still really bad advice from that lady, but I'm glad that they knew that they weren't ready.
Our official stance is abstinence for adolescents.
The pull-up method does not work.
It doesn't. So
there's a second plot line.
yes,
Yeah.
it's kind of a throwaway plot line. Toby
Yeah.
sort of has this crush on Emma, but nothing really comes of it. They sort of imply Sean in it, but it's a love triangle kind of thing. But
Emma's
really.
not interested in Toby at all. She she likes Sean a lot.
Episode 7 though.
Basketball Diaries.
This one gets really, really.
We start getting into like more like
grit
hard stuff.
Yeah. So we find out.
Jimmy's a basketball boy. He's good at basketball.
But while he is good at basketball, he's sort of struggling with his academics.
Because he doesn't know how to balance school and basketball.
He finds basketball more important. Spinner sort of assures him that he'll make the team.
Because he's good at basketball.
And he shouldn't worry. Jimmy shows this sort of jealousy towards Sean because Sean's also pretty good.
Yeah.
But it shows some insecurity on Jimmy's side.
Because we're shown that like Jimmy's just like really good. Like Sean is good, but he's not like at Jimmy's level.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is where Coach Armstrong gets some of his first speaking lines. But,
yeah.
But we find out an origin story of why Spinner is called Spinner and not Gavin. And
which is his real name.
Yes. So he has ADHD.
And he takes Ritalin for it.
Because I guess that's what was prescribed back then instead of Adderall these days.
I guess. I don't know anything about that.
But he pretty much explains the science to it. And let me say, Spinner has never sounded smarter than he does explaining how the chemicals affect his brain as opposed to someone that doesn't struggle with ADHD.
Because he basically says the Ritalin is like a downer for me, but for anybody else, it's speed. Okay.
Yeah, like, and Jimmy's like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm not gonna do drugs, but
can
like,
I take one?
Would it affect my basketball performance? He's like, dude, you would be flying off the walls if you took this stuff.
You would be slam dunking, right? Like he is so excited. He gives Jimmy a pill, and Jimmy is like, oh yeah, I like this. I play better.
He's very clearly on speed. And it has subject matter of substance abuse as kids, and whether or not what to do with it, or if you take it to school. For some reason, everyone knows that Spinner has to take it.
Jimmy has like a really important game coming, and he asked Spinner for another one of his pills.
Yes.
But Spinner's like, dude, this is
It's
my
his
last
last one.
Like I need it. Like I really do need it. And Jimmy like convinces him to like
let him have it.
Yeah. And Jimmy has a really great game, but like he's being really like aggro. He's hogging the ball. But then we see Spinner start to like
he's kind of like a mascot, even though he's supposed to be just like the towel boy.
But then he's like coaching. He started to like yell at like Jimmy.
He's crazy.
And then at the halftime when they're taking a break, he like moons everyone.
Moons the crowd.
Yeah.
Radich, the principal, calls him into his office.
And he's like, "What's going on, Spinner?" And then he's like, "Did you forget to take your pill? You know what you get like whenever you forget."
He pretty much says yes, but Jimmy, he hits the game-winning shot.
Yes.
But while he does that, he sort of
he pushes
he
Sean.
He tackles Sean out of the way, his own teammate.
Yeah, and it's really weird.
And shoots it and makes it. And he was ball hogging. He was being super not cool.
Like the coach is like, dude, like you're not a team player and you can't play if you're gonna be like that.
Yeah, they advanced in the playoffs or whatever, but he told Jimmy he's off the team. Mm-hmm. And as we find out in the next episode, they never talk about this again.
Yeah,
but it got pretty real there for a second with all the substance abuse stuff.
Yeah,
it gets like that. I guess the lesson here would be don't self-medicate
and also ask an adult for help if you're struggling.
Yes. Episode 8 is called Secrets and Lies. And it's a very different sort of episode because it's kind of centered around Ashley, but it starts with us finally meeting his dad.
Her dad, yeah.
Her dad. Sorry.
That's okay. Because we've seen Toby's mom, and we see why, like...
We know both of his parents.
Yeah, why they got divorced, but we never really, like, are talking about why Ashley's parents got divorced.
So he picks her up from school, or he visits her.
Yeah, because he's been in Europe this entire time. He's like Caitlin Ryan.
He's a reporter.
Yeah.
And all the girls from school are like, Ashley, oh my God,
He's
your
so
dad is so handsome. I can't believe that.
Nice.
And he's single. They're being creeps.
And they're like, he's so charming.
Yeah.
They're like, what's wrong with him? You know, why is he single?
So we're trying to find out why he's, sort of single. And separated from Ashley's mom.
Yeah. We later see, like, Ashley, her parents, like, talking.
Her stepdad, he's arguing with Kate.
Yeah.
And it sort of structures the episode to make us believe that there's going to be this subplot romance of Ashley's parents getting back together, which she's all for.
Yeah. Because she's like, oh, this is so cool. Like, my parents could get back together.
I would say she's old enough to not sort of be delusional about that sort of stuff, but at the same time, she's got to understand her mom's got to be happy too. And, like, with all the tension she has with Toby, it's kind of weird that she's kind of open for this. But I guess if you would ask any child of divorce, they would say, yeah, I'd want my parents to get back together too.
Also, they kiss on the mouth like twice.
Oh my God.
Which is really confusing to Ashley and us.
Because it's right after the fight.
Yeah, it's right after Kate and Jeff are fighting, and then Ashley's real dad comes, and he's in the car, and then the mom is like hovering over him like this, and she's like, like she kisses him.
Yeah, girls at school sort of inquire about why Ashley's dad might be single,
and then Paige makes a joke, be like, "What
maybe
is he,
he's
like
gay?" And she, I think Ashley takes real offense to it because
because this scene happens after she finds out that her dad is gay.
Yes, And let me just say this too about Ashley finding out, because it's a scene.
Oh my God, yes!
It's a scene with her mom in the kitchen, and she's sort of like kind of daydreaming about them getting back together.
Ashley's like, "Oh, we just went out," and her mom looks disappointed because she's like, "Oh, that's it," you know. And then like Ashley kind of like inquires first, like, "Ashley, your dad is gay, okay?"
And she implies it. But the way it hits Ashley...
I don't know if you guys know what this is called, but it's called a dolly zoom.
A dolly zoom shot.
Where...
and it just hits Ashley.
Yeah, like it zooms in on Ashley, but you see the background like zooming back. Yeah, like... People call it like the Severance zoom. Yeah. Because I use it in Severance a lot. We have not seen that.
But it's so funny because this is a good and informative episode to tackle, because we have to keep in mind that this is 2001, 2002. Mm-hmm. It's still really, really, like, it's different. It was a different time.
We had shows like Will and Grace where people knew about gay people, but it was still like not like okay to come out. Like, it was still... There's
not as much representation as there is today.
Yeah. And it's more normalized today.
It was a different time back then. No excuses for it, but it was one of those episodes to let us, an adolescent, know, like, hey,
there are gay people,
and that's totally fine. It hits Ashley really hard because she's young, she's in middle school,
and she never knew why her parents divorced. Like one year they were just like, hey, we're divorcing, and you're living with your mom. She
asked her dad about it. He admits to it, and I think Paige even jokingly suggested to Ashley's face in the lunchroom that he could be gay because he's so handsome and single. And Ashley gets really mad because at this point she already knew, and she's sort of struggling to deal with that.
And then her dad reveals that like this man that she hung out with once or twice is her dad's partner, and she feels kind of betrayed because she's like, I hung out with this man and I didn't know who he was.
And Ashley has an appropriate response, I would only say, because Paige is still sort of the mean girl.
Yeah.
But we find out, it's revealed to us by Paige that, hey, no, that's okay. I know because my brother is gay.
Yeah, but like obviously because it's coming from Paige at first, Ashley takes it as her like kind of like poking her. Yeah, she thinks she's poking the bear. So like Ashley's like basically like screw you, and like throws chocolate milk on her, and then like that's when like Paige is like, I wasn't doing that. My brother's actually gay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to help.
So her storyline sort of ends up with her learning a lesson of how, it's okay. For a humor subplot, though, it's super minor, but...
Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah.
But Liberty has a crush on JT.
Yes.
And he tries to essentially weasel out of it by pretending to be gay.
Well, at first he's trying to give her a hint that, like, he doesn't like her. And then, like, he hears about, like, Ashley's dad. He's like, okay, I'm just going to tell Liberty I'm gay. And hopefully
pretend
she
to
gets
be
the
with
hint.
Toby.
Yeah, and he does this whole thing where he's like, "Hey, Liberty," and he overdoes it, and then Liberty's like, "Okay, JT, I get it."
I think it's a lot of fun with the actor that plays JT, and it really shows how fun of a character he can be,
and how not afraid he was to like do that.
Yeah,
because I feel like they're kids; they could easily be like, "I know this is my job, but I don't want to do that,"
So it's a fun little subplot to kind of ease the tension of this lesson.
This hard lesson back then,
yes.
I guess, in a way.
It was a pretty good episode.
We liked it a lot, and it was done very well, I think.
Episode 9 is called Coming of Age.
Which is a really sad episode, actually.
It is. It's centered around
Jimmy.
Our favorite Canadian white rapper, Jimmy.
Audrey.
Yeah. And he is sort of...
Aubrey. Is it Aubrey or
It's Aubrey.
Okay.
He's sort of overstaying his welcome at Ashley's place. They're dating still. They had that whole previous episode. He's there a lot, and it's implied that he's there on a daily basis from school.
Because even, like, Ashley's mom is like, oh, what time is Jimmy coming over for dinner? Like, it's not even like, is Jimmy coming over? It's like, when is he coming? Let him know that we're eating wings, right?
And he's having fun with Toby. He knows the mom. He's being super cool.
Yeah.
The only one that seems to have an issue with this is actually Ashley.
Yeah. She's, like, really annoyed because, like, he's invading her space.
She's annoyed to the point where she's going to break up with him after
his birthday because Jimmy's turning 14
and he's coming of age.
They're gonna have a party at his house supposedly.
It's a really sad episode because once she is like going on and on about this, Toby sort of overhears.
Yeah, because she's like, I feel suffocated. I want to break up with him. And Toby likes Jimmy. Jimmy is his friend, so he feels conflicted about telling him. But Jimmy kind of pressures him to be like, what did Ashley say? And
he tells her. So he decides to bring Ashley over to his house for his birthday. And here's where it really hits hard because he's like, hey, you want to celebrate my birthday at my house?
And Ashley makes a comment saying, like, is your mom actually cooking or are we just getting pizza?
Yes.
Which kind of, like, implies that Ashley knows that his parents aren't around. But when they get to his apartment, like, there's nobody there. It's quiet. There's only a note saying, hey, order pizza tonight.
Yeah, they're sort of workaholics, and it lets us know that Jimmy... is spending all this time, not because Ashley's his girlfriend, but because he doesn't really have anyone to spend time with at home. And it's really hard. He confronts her about breaking up with him and being like, oh, we're going to wait till after my birthday.
He's like, there's
Is
no
that
point.
my present?
Yeah.
God.
And he, like, straight up is like, well, you know what? I'm just going to break up with you.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to feel guilty.
Let me say his performance was the performance of a star. I personally hate Drake. But as a child actor,
we
my
don't
God,
like Drake, but we like Aubrey.
This boy can bring the drama. There's a subplot that's equally as intense, and it's centered around Emma going...
Well, not as intense, but it's an important lesson. So Emma is struggling in school. She's stressed. Even Manny's like, oh, like, why are you being so mean? When we find out Emma is starting her first period. She's wearing a skirt, a white skirt, of course.
Of course.
You're wearing a white something.
We have to do that.
Jessie Bear, what's wrong? Oh, you got your period. Oh, I made you wear white shorts. I'm so sorry.
With every period episode.
Yeah. And then, like, she goes to the bathroom and she runs into Paige. And this is where, like, I kind of started liking Paige a little bit, but season 1 Paige I hate, honestly.
Yeah.
But Paige, like, gives Emma advice. She's like, yeah, you want, I can give you a pad because you don't want to go to Raditch and be like, hey, Raditch, give me a pad for my period.
Yeah, it sort of adds to Paige's character to let her know that she's not some one-trick pony with, like, just a mean streak.
Yeah.
While this is going on, too, Emma has to do a presentation. Of course she has to. It's
yeah.
her day to do it on her period, her first freaking period
And then
day.
she's wearing these shorts that don't fit her because she stained her pants.
She gets teased by JT and
Toby
be
and
like,
then...
oh, like, Puff Daddy's in the house.
Oh, he goes, yo, yo, yo,
yeah,
Puff
being
Daddy.
racist, I think. I don't know. But...
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. But Emma's like, you know what? No, I had my period, and half the population does it. And if you have a problem with it, then that's just too damn bad.
Yeah, and Miss Kwan kind of makes a face too, because she initially was not being a woman's woman, being like, what, is there anything prohibiting you from giving this
speech today, this presentation? And Emma kind of just doesn't like tell her at first, but then when she says that, she's like, okay, all right.
Way to go.
Yeah.
It shows the strength of Emma, and it's
I like it because it deals with periods. Like, I remember being in middle school, getting my first period. It was during the summer, so I was lucky it didn't happen during school. But I know a girl who did get her period during school, and she legit believed it only lasted for a day. She didn't know it lasted for like 7 days. So I remember having to give her like my tiny little shorts that she barely fit in because she stained her pants. But it's an important episode.
And
Girls have periods.
And it happens. Yeah.
Yes.
Episode 10 is a wild one.
Oh my God, yes.
It's called Rumors and Reputations, and it starts off with Emma watching Coach Armstrong and Liberty.
Okay, so like we see Coach Armstrong and Liberty in his classroom, and Liberty looks like she's kind of like upset.
They're alone.
Yeah, they're alone, and Liberty looks upset, and then we see Coach Armstrong going like this, like kind of comforting her. But Emma sees it and she's like, oh, that looks weird. And
Suggestive
then,
in a way.
Yeah. And then later she sees like Coach Armstrong.
In lunch handing her a note.
And he kind of grabs her arm or something. But then like Emma tells Manny like, hey.
She speaks to her in private.
And
lets
in
her
the
know.
hallway. Okay. She speaks to her in the hallway. All right.
Because I believe she tries to fish it out of Liberty, and Liberty's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Because Liberty's going through something else. So she's not thinking about
that it's anything with this.
Yeah. And then Emma's basically like, hey, I saw this. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. I don't know if I should report it. But Terry
is right around the corner.
And she's listening. She's like, and she goes to class.
And she finds in confidence
Paige of all people. Okay?
And she's like, I need you to not tell anyone. But she also adds to it. And this is how rumors get started.
So Terry goes, yeah, he had his arm around Liberty, and he gave her a love note.
And then it sort of spirals out of control. Everyone that we know in the cast sort of gets a speaking line about the rumor.
Hold on.
And then we're introduced to
Hazel!
Yeah.
Yes, we finally meet Hazel!
In episode 10, no less.
Sorry, I love Hazel.
She's great. She also adds to it, but it's her first speaking line.
Yeah, like it goes from like Paige to Spinner to Sean to Hazel, and it goes down the line. And
back to Ashley.
Yes.
Who is in this media class because her and...
No, she's the president. And
they do the morning news.
Yeah, they do the morning news, and they're on the student council together. Liberty and Ashley. So they're having a student council meeting. And Liberty wants like something done, and Ashley is just like, yes, because Ashley feels bad for Liberty, and Liberty points it out too. She's like, hey, I argued
we argued about this last year.
Yeah, no, last meeting.
Yes.
For like an hour. What's going on? You just agreed, and then Ashley's like, hey, do you know the rumor going around about you? And tells her. And Liberty gets so upset because obviously
it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's not true.
And to, sort of give her some empathy, she trusts in Coach Armstrong, and it was this nasty rumor that got spread when really it was about her.
Liberty having math dyslexia.
Yes.
I forgot what it's called specifically, but yeah.
Which to herself was really embarrassing because she's a scholar.
Yeah, she's
always very
one.
smart.
Yeah.
And she didn't want anyone finding out about this, so she
shows Emma like the flyer. It's not even a note. It's a flyer for her disability and how to get tutoring for it.
So Emma spends the rest of the episode tracking down the rumor to sort of chew them out.
Yeah, because she's like, well, we need to find out who started this rumor, so we know that it's not true.
She goes down the line to every single person. I heard it from her, and she heard it from him.
And then we finally get to Terry, and then Terry's like, well, I heard it from you, Emma. And then after that, the coach gets called into the
office
with Radich, because obviously they need to address this rumor.
It's gotten to that point where the teachers know about it, and this man could lose his job.
Yes. But Emma decides to go all white savior and is like, Mr. Radich, I made up the rumor.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't get any repercussions for, like, school-wise. Like, she should have been suspended for at least 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then Liberty is like, Emma, you could have ruined this man's career. You embarrassed me. And she literally, like, ends the episode with, like, I don't want to talk to you, Emma, and, like, storms off. Like, it's like really intense.
Yeah, it teaches us to not take everything at face value, to sort of know what you're saying before you spread it.
Have receipts
Yes.
before making accusations like that.
And not to say spoilers, but this is never brought up again.
Oh my god, yes. We'll talk about it next episode, but this is never brought up again.
The Degrassi special.
And it's really like annoying to me because later on, Emma goes through the situation again, and she like totally like hates on the girl that starts the next rumor that's like that. And but like Emma takes no responsibility, first of all.
At all.
She's like, I didn't do that. That's not my intention, which is kind of half true because Terry's the one who really starts the rumor. She just overheard Emma speaking about it, but it's like, Emma, you shouldn't be speaking about stuff like that out loud. So,
As is common with a lot of Degrassi
Yes.
episodes. But yeah.
Episodes 6 through 10 were really good.
They were good.
Yeah.
They're all good. Tune in next week or soon for the next episode when we finish up season 1.
Woo!
But till then, subscribe, like, bye.
Bye.